Hello, everyone. Welcome into episode number 400. Wow, I can't believe I've done this many episodes. I can't wait to do episode 500. I just wanted to come on here as a momentous milestone marking episode and just kind of share my thoughts and just be let the guard down, let the not that I always have the guard up, but just kind of do a self recap, and hopefully just inspire someone else out there to maybe start their own podcast or kind of just get inspiration or motivation from my journey. This show, I cannot believe I've done so many episodes, and one of the big reasons why I've gotten up to 400 was because I used to do 5 episodes a week. When I first started this show, this is how I would record it, right? I would literally get up in the morning and I would take my phone and I would use the old, it was Anchor at the time. I think it's now Creators for Spotify. But I would just click record and I would talk into my phone for about 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then I'd click end and I'd publish. That was it. Like that was literally what I would do. And I used to do 5 episodes a week, very faithfully for quite a while. But that was one of the biggest things I think that helped me, not only in finding my voice for podcasting and kind of making this growth path for myself, but just being in the entrepreneurial space too. Just finding confidence in your voice and finding, like, I think the first 10 or 20 were so bad. Like, if you go back and you listen to it, it was the Run Your Day podcast. It was terrible. It was so bad. And, I wouldn't say I've come a super long way in terms of the highest quality of shows or anything like that. But I've certainly come, pretty far in terms of what I talk about and how I do it and the process I have and using different tools and all this different stuff. So, what a way to start. What a way to kind of go down that road. I also did have a couple of pauses in this show, where I just didn't do any episodes for months at a time. I think there was one even where I took like a year off. And, I think that that's something that obviously didn't help me in terms of the show having loyal listeners. And, we had a pretty good audience, and then I just kind of let it all go. But I think I don't regret it. I think at those times, I was just not feeling like I could produce the best kind of content, the best kind of, coming from the best kind of place to actually provide something of value and excitement for, you, the listener. And I think that I would have actually done a disservice if I was still publishing things and they were just half-assed. You know what I mean? Like, it really, not even half-assed. It would have been like quarter-assed. Like quarter, even like 10% asked. I don't know. Like, it would have been not asked at all. So weird. But I think that that's okay. A lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves to keep the show up and going, and you have to publish every so often, and that is true. But I think at some point you can also be like, it's your show. You can do whatever the hell you want to do with it. So if you want to take some time off, you take some time off. You know what I mean? But the other thing I did want to say here on episode 400, I do want to thank, if anyone that's listening to this has been a guest on the show before, and you're listening to this and you remember the episode that you did with me, thank you also as well. I've done a ton of guest interviews on this show. I really like bringing those to you. I'm kind of bringing back this type of solo podcast, which I really enjoy. But I think there's nothing like a guest interview. There's nothing like kind of talking through things with people, getting a different perspective. I know it's fun for the listener to hear different voices and different opinions and different things. And I've tried to put a mix of people that both I would like to learn from and study from and kind of get their perspective on, but also to bring values and insights and perspectives that I don't have. Like, that's the beauty of having a guest show podcast like that, is that you get to have that. You get to open yourself up to opinions and perspectives and topics that you don't know a lot about, or you might not even agree with or feel comfortable with. I think that's one of the big problems in our world, at least here in the United States, is that we're, I don't want to make this a political thing, but we're also, it's naturally a human thing. You don't seek out things that you're uncomfortable with. You don't seek out things that you disagree with, and I think that that's a beautiful thing to engage with, because we still have freedom of speech in this country, and it's a very beautiful thing to be able to do something like this, is to be able to come on and record a podcast and publish it out there to the world. And that's not available everywhere in the world. And I don't take that for granted. I think that's why, like, part of me just wants to keep doing this, is because I have that right. I have that God-given right to talk and to speak my mind and to talk about things in ways that, I don't face repercussions for. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I don't even talk politics a lot. Like, I just talk about tech, you know what I mean? But, and I kind of went on a tangent there, I guess, a little bit. But thank you to anyone who's been a guest on the show, sincerely. I'm looking forward to having even more on the path to 500 and beyond. But you guys have definitely helped build the show. You've helped give it character, helped give it different perspectives, different topics, different angles, in just so many ways that I can't even say individual thank yous to anyone. But, if you've been a guest on the show, I really do appreciate it. So that is pretty much all I wanted to come on and talk about on this episode 400, just to kind of mark the occasion. Super, super grateful and humble that, I still have many of you that do listen and watch the show on a regular basis. I really appreciate all of you out there. I know podcasting is such a weird thing, because you can know your numbers of how many downloads and how many things and how many this, but they're just numbers. There's not an actual name associated with it, or an email, or anything, any identifiable information from our side, at least, as the host. So, sometimes there's, 16 people here in this country and 47 over here, and one day it goes crazy and there's thousands of people listening and whatever, and it's kind of crazy to see that they're have been played in so many different countries all over the world throughout the 6 or 7 years I've done this show. But I just do appreciate you, the listener. I appreciate anyone who comes back and listens to the show regularly. I appreciate all of you, for even if you're just a passive listener or watcher and you just kind of come on and you just like to hear me talk for whatever reason, or I really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm really excited for the next 100 episodes, the next 500 episodes, to just see where this thing goes, see what we can make of it. Again, thank you all for continuing to listen, for continuing to engage. Really appreciate all of you. And if you have any ideas for the show, be sure to leave a comment, or email me. You can go to our website. You can send me a message through there as well. I'm always open to any suggestions, any feedback, whether it's good or bad. You just want to tell me I'm ugly and you don't like listening to me, then that's fine too. But that's always appreciated. So here's to 400 episodes, and here is to 400 or 500 more. Maybe we'll do another one of these at 500, maybe at 1,000, who knows. So again, thank you to anyone who's been a guest. Thank you to everyone who is a listener. I really appreciate all of you, and I see you guys in the next episode. Bye.